What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Oddity Acres. We are out here in Vermilion, Ohio to investigate a very notorious legend. If you grew up in Northeast Ohio, undoubtedly you've heard of Gore Orphanage. And we are in the area. We have just passed the Gore Orphanage bridge. And I'm here with Becca. And Jesse, my brother, is already way the hell out in the woods. So we're going to see maybe he can find it for us and we can just go hang out with him. But anyways, I'm going to give you the story. We're going to tell you a little bit about the history, and we're going to go from there, so stay tuned. Hello up there.
What?
Did you find anything?
There's a big building all the way over there.
There's no building left of this.
Huh?
There's no building left. We're thinking maybe it's on the other side of this bridge. We think we came in from the other side.
Alright.
We'll see you when you get down here. Anything you see up there?
Nah, it's just a cool waterfall.
Oh, there's a waterfall?
Really? Is it pretty?
Yeah, I took a few pictures.
Gore Orphanage, the events that took place in these locations here, at this specific location, only exist in nightmares. The story goes that Old Man Gore burnt down the orphanage, killing all the children inside. Onlookers and passerbys heard the children's screams and they were unable to help. Stories of abuse and horrible things that took place in this orphanage that led to this tragedy have riddled local legend and lore throughout 120 years now. This has been a place that teenagers have come to test their bravery, and as I said, this is a crazy place that shows up on every Ohio local legend lore. So basically what we're looking for, and what Jesse was looking for up on top of this mountain behind me, is remnants of the foundation and different pieces to where the orphanage was. There's actually a mansion on site as well. There is still pieces of that foundation. So, and I know it's not right off of the beaten path here, so that we have to kind of explore a little bit, but that's kind of what we're looking for. So we're bringing you along on the adventure with us. So this is one of the biggest parts of Gore Orphanage. This is what a lot of people come to see. This is what you see a lot of pictures of. This is the hitching post. When you would see two big statues, or two big posts along the outside of houses, back in the old times they would hitch their horses up to here. And so this is basically the entrance to where the mansion stood and where all the foundation is kind of in the back here. So lots of stories over the years of you can hear children scream still in the woods. They say that if you leave your car either on that bridge back there or over here and you explore the woods and you come back, you'll find small handprints of children on your car. There's been a lot of, as I said, a lot of stories and local legend and lore that kind of play into this whole place. And that's kind of what makes it spooky, and that's what makes all these people come out and explore this area, and that's what keeps the local legend alive. And maybe all the stories and legend weren't true, but from how it's played out from the original orphanage to the original story to actually what happened, maybe there wasn't a million children's spirits out here, but people certainly do come out here to do seances and other strange things. So maybe even if there wasn't something originally out here, who knows what was brought out here. So the orphanage that was originally here was an orphanage called Light of Hope Orphanage, and it was owned by Reverend Johann Sprunger. And basically, there were a lot of stories of neglect and, abuse. Things like there were, rats in these kids' beds, and they were not being fed correctly, and there was a lot of kids that tried to escape. So those are kind of where those stories come from. So here is part of the foundation still, and look there's foundation still in this pond. You can tell those are man-made rocks and bricks. They even go back here still farther. Wow. Oh, there's more back there. Look, we'll have to go check that out. These are all part of the foundation. Wow. Isn't it crazy to see what nature does over time to buildings and, man-made structures? It's absolutely incredible. This is what I mean about people coming back here and doing seances and putting upside down crosses and things. I mean, people take a place like this that had the local legend, and now they're creating it. And they're putting energy here that should not be here. So just behind me right here is the Vermilion River, and there was obviously, as I said, stories of neglect and abuse in the Light of Hope Orphanage. Stories about kids trying to escape and swim through the river to try to get out of there. There was even rumors of kids being fed a diet of, organs of calves and things like that, and cows, raw meat and things, rats that were infesting the orphanage, getting into kids' beds while they were sleeping. The kids were getting bit. Disease being only treated by prayer and not by doctors. There's a lot of stuff that plays into this, and that's why there was an investigation launched. So the investigation was launched in 1909, and unfortunately at the time, Ohio law didn't have any restrictions or guidance or anything that kind of pertained to the rights of orphans and the rights of how these orphanages are supposed to work. And the way fate would have it, Sprunger died about 2 years after the investigation was launched. We got Jesse throwing shit in the woods, trying to scare me, laughing over there like I don't fucking know what he's doing. You got me, man. I thought I was an orphan for a second. So, as I said, we kind of dove into kind of what happened, what the original story was, and what the actual story was. After Sprunger died, the doors of the orphanage were open for a little bit longer, until about 1916, I believe, when they were closed down for financial troubles. And at that point, everything here, the orphanage, the Swift Mansion, all of that stuff that we see in the old pictures, they were kind of just left to waste, and they rotted out here in the woods. And that's kind of what you have, what's here today. Now, if you talk to different people that have investigated this area, different ghost hunters, things like that, they say that this area that we're standing in right now, where the mansion once stood, is the epicenter for paranormal activity as far as the Gore Orphanage legend goes. There was actually an episode in season 5 of Supernatural. I know there's a lot of Supernatural fans out there. This is not the first time I brought this up in my vlog. Lilydale was the first time I brought it up in my vlog. But they did an episode about Gore Orphanage and the things that had happened here. And they have this big scene that kind of was supposed to take place in this area. So that was kind of a cool little tidbit in pop culture history right now. Fucking flies everywhere. It's like goddamn Amityville Horror. They're all, look, they're all over me. They're everywhere. Isn't that crazy? It's an omen. Again, we are talking about how, you know, this place has local legend and lore, and people come out here to do things like summoning and seances and spiritual satanic worship and things like that, because they feel like this is an epicenter for paranormal and spiritual things. So, you know, that's kind of where I think even if there were no ghosts of orphans and all these things that have been said, you never know what's been brought in. And I think like that, you know, I go to a lot of locations with this vlog, and you know, it's crazy that, you know, how many places I show up to and find things like this. Jesse just found these pillars that are going straight along in a straight line. There's rebar in them. Check these out. What did you find? What the hell? Why would this even be here? Like, why would somebody tape a fake candle on a tree? So there's all these rocks that run right along here, and they actually run the entirety of this whole pond area that looks like it was some sort of framed in area. And you said something that was really smart. What did you say?
It's probably the basement.
The basement, yeah. This could be part of the basement. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so there's more of those pillars with rebar in them. So they run along the line of the property, it looks like.